Alright, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are having a great day. Here is part 3 of What If Naruto Was the Reincarnation of Gilgamesh. Okay, so last time where we left off, Naruto and uh, Sasuke and Hinata have all passed. Kakashi has asked well, I should say Gilgamesh instead of Naruto because Gilgamesh has taken over. But anyway, Kakashi asked Gilgamesh what all of his powers and abilities are. So Gilgamesh, he basically gives a quick little rundown of basically what all of his abilities are. So he has clairvoyance, precognition, golden rule, which basically allows all of the wealth, the world's wealth and treasures to go find its way into his hands. He has charisma, which makes everybody basically kneel in its presence when he wants them to kneel, or or he can mind control them to a certain extent to where they just want to follow him and do what he says. And he just has like a lot of weapons, because remember guys, he has the original prototypes of every single noble phantasm made by human hands, by god hands, or demon hands. So he has every single human weapon, god weapon, demon weapon. Yeah, so he has every single human weapon, god weapon, and demon weapon. He has all the original weapons and the noble phantasms. He has all the original noble phantasms. This is what I'm trying to say, guys. So anyway, uh, the Gate of Babylon, which is also uh, inside the Gate of Babylon, is the king's treasury, where he stores all of the original, where he stores all of his treasures and all the original noble phantasms. So yeah, and the original noble phantasms are way powerful than the noble phantasms that other servants have. So he can this is why he's considered the jack of all trades, because he can easily counter anything he sees fit. He also, like for instance, he has. Oh, and another thing, guys, he can bring out the full potential of every single weapon or every single noble phantasm. He can bring out Vimana, which is that big ship. If you guys have seen Fate Zero, that's when he was on that ship sitting on that throne, and Lancelot was chasing him on a fighter jet. Yeah, that scene. And that ship can basically travel faster than the speed of thought, so instantly. But anyway, he has a weapon that he has the Potion of Youth, which can obviously is self-explanatory. He can basically turn himself back into a little kid, and he also has. Hold on, guys. Here, I'm just going to bring up a list of all of his powers and abilities and weapons. All the weapons he has stored inside the Gate of Babylon, or the King's Treasury. So that way, you guys, if you guys want to, you guys can pause, look at it, read the what it says. Now, another thing that if I didn't say this in my previous videos, I am lowering Gilgamesh's arrogance. So he has he has Sha Nakba Imaru, which basically allows him to see into parallel worlds and basically see which move is the right move that he should make. The only reason why he never really used that in the anime is because honestly, in my personal opinion, because they wanted to nerf Gilgamesh. That's why they made him arrogant, because he only used it to people he saw it as worthy, which wasn't very that many people. But anyway, I'm lowering his arrogance, so he will use every single thing. He has. Well, anyway, hold on, guys. I'm gonna just bring it up so you guys can read it real quick. All right. Here we go, guys. So he has flight. He has portals, curse manipulation, Danmaku, supernatural luck, and collecting and maintaining wealth, social influencing, mind manipulation with charisma, electricity manipulation with auto defensors, attack reflection, energy projection with various noble phantasms, force field creation, homing attack, ice manipulation, fire manipulation, invisibility with ring of invisibility and cap of invisibility, summoning, necromancy, poison manipulation, regeneration, immortality, and / or magic negation with various other noble phantasms, conceptual manipulation. He has various conceptual armaments within his arsenal. He has flight, stealth, explosion, manipulation with Vimana, clairvoyance, and precognition. He has Shah Nakba Imaru, which allows him to instantly discern great truths, such as the identity of other servants and their noble phantasm, and can see the possibilities of parallel worlds, predicting the future and knowing exactly what to do. Chain manipulation with Enkidu, air manipulation, energy projection, space-time manipulation with Aya. Now, remember, guys, Aya is his strongest weapon in his entire arsenal. So, again, guys, remember, in his art, hold on, guys, Aya is the strongest weapon that Gilgamesh possesses within the Gate of Babylon and his king's treasury. That is his strongest weapon out of his entire arsenal, and he has a lot of weapons. And another thing that I think I failed to mention, guys, every time when he shoots a weapon, like, it travels at Mach 10, which is 10 times faster than the speed of sound. So, yeah. But he also, but Aya, he can also control the power with his ultimate attack. Aya can produce the ultimate attack, Enuma Elish, which can fire a vortex of energy and wind that basically destroys space and time and, well, space. And he has supernatural luck and fate manipulation. So basically he can manipulate his own fate. Like, he can basically prevent himself from dying anytime he wants. Servant physiology, resistance to BFR, space-time manipulation. And remember, guys, the ultimate attack of Aya is Enuma Elish. And he has incredibly strong willpower. He has a causality, subjective reality, which basically negates attacks. Immersion. He can travel back and forth from the imaginary number space and real number space. Statistics amplification. The mythological mystic code allows Gilgamesh to freely raise his parameters at will. So basically he can boost his stats. Power nullification. Resistance to existent erasure abilities. Matter manipulation, mind manipulation, soul manipulation, information manipulation, probability manipulation, sealing, time manipulation, reality warping, causality manipulation, life manipulation, death manipulation, fate manipulation, law manipulation, conceptual manipulation, power nullification, and illusion creation. Whew. Okay, so yeah, his regular attacks without using Aya is island level. And he can also make it go higher to large island level, to planetary level, to obviously when he's using Aya to use it for a multiversal, an anti-multiversal level scale. So basically, and if again, guys, when he's using Aya, and he uses the attack Enuma Elish, he can control the amount of power and what he wants to destroy. So if he wants to destroy the entire multiverse, or if he just wants to just destroy one single person, he can do that. So yeah. He has speed, massively hypersonic. Let's see. He can. He piloted the Vimana, which easily outpaced a fighter jet, elevated to the level of a noble phantasm by Lancelot's Knight of Honor. Fought against True Archer, whose arrows can bypass the lightning bolts fired by his auto defensors. His lifting strength is Class K, but has a B in strength, making him comparable to Achilles. His striking strength, like I said, guys, Island class or higher. Durability is Island level without his armor. With his armor, large island level to multiversal level. So, yeah. He also has very high stamina. Can stay in the world without a master for a week without being, before being incarnated. Can survive having his arm cut off, being stabbed in the chest by Shiro, and then being shot in the head by Archer. Fought against Enkidu for several days straight. Range, to how far he can extend his Gate of Babylon, at least 100 meters. So yeah, pretty big. Standard equipment, his armor, and everything within the Gate of Babylon. Intelligence, created to be the pinnacle of all humans, Gilgamesh is a brilliant individual, easily seeing through lies and discerning any number of forms of magecraft with a glance, predicting the number of weapons Shiro would project at once, encountering him with an equal amount of armaments from his treasury, instantly seeing through Castor's faked death and backing away from Saber after she formed a contract with Rin. Also, Shah Nakba Imaru allows him to see all possible outcomes, allowing him to always make the correct move and discern the true names and noble phantasms of the opponent if he wishes. Again, guys, I am lowering his arrogance so he can use all of his abilities to the fullest, because he's going to be overpowered in this, guys. So yeah. Alright, but anyway. And this also works for jutsus, genjutsus, or if somebody's hiding their true name, he can see what their true name is and basically see their stats. Yeah. So, again, guys, here is his Gate of Babylon, also aka the King's Treasure. Gilgamesh's Grand Treasury. It is a storehouse that contains countless of treasures of the world collected by Gilgamesh. And he also possesses the key of the King's Law, Bab Ilu. He can open an invisible door to its contents to summon them wherever he pleases. So, yeah. And again, guys, you can stop this whenever you want to read all this. I'm just basically getting to the main abilities and weapons. He has anti-spirit incense, an ash-like powder that attracts walking corpses like those summoned by Angra Mainyu. Auto defensors, a series of golden discs that float around Gilgamesh and can defend an area as large as a single floor building. They defend Gilgamesh from virtually any projectile by shooting them down with innumerable lightning bolts as they approach. It provides sufficient protection against even a storm of surprise attacks from Enkidu. So yeah. He also has command spells, which, if you guys have seen Fate, which is very high class level of magic. Curtain of the Night. Basically, it can basically turn day into nighttime. He has Dainslif, a demonic sword from Nibelungen, yeah, Nablugan, is a cursed noble phantasm that contains a powerful curse of reparation. Basically, if you get hit by this sword, it basically makes you descend into ruin, basically you to where you wind up dying. So yeah. He has Durandal, which the Peerless Sword, which basically can pierce anything. Gaibolg, the Spear of Cahulin, which basically this spear, and remember guys, I'm giving him full, complete access to every single weapon and every single noble phantasm in his treasury, so he can fully access it like it's nothing, like he's been using it for his entire life. So he can use Gaibolg any time he wants, and he can use it to its fullest of potentials. Basically, this can be fired, and it will always strike the opponent's heart. He has a golden axe, one of the few weapons that Gilgamesh prefers to utilize personally. Basically, that's one of the weapons that he likes to hold and go hand to hand, because this axe, if he can either fire it or he can use it, but it will cleave the targets along with the space around them. Golden drill, a weapon Gilgamesh also uses personally. It's a drill and tears into its target while firing at them with its machine gun and cannon functions. Golden lance, which is another weapon that he likes to use, which will personally skewer any targets that he wants. Golden swords, a pair of swords that resemble the weapon Inki, which his prototype self-wields, which I'm guessing can also be used as a, but I don't know. Gram, the Sword of the Sun, wielded by Sigurd, the Volsunga saga of the Norse mythology, said to be the strongest demonic sword that equals to the strongest holy sword, so it possesses the unique characteristics of a dragon slayer. He also has Hotengeki, a halberd, passed down in Chinese culture, only a type of halberd out of many to attain the rank of noble phantasm. It's polearm with many different purposes, such as thrusting, swiping, pulling, parrying, and various other methods. So yeah, basically, yeah. And he also has the immortal slaying scythe, harp, the snake hunter scythe, divine sword from Greek mythology used by Perseus to kill the Gorgon Medusa. Basically, this weapon, it is a scythe, so it's an undying. Its special ability is the undying attribute, which can basically kill and hurt immortals. He also possesses Merodach, the original sin, a mighty sword Gilgamesh uses to determine if its opponent is worthy of facing Ea. So basically, if you can somehow miraculously survive this, then you will see Ea. But if you see Ea, then you're most likely... So if this doesn't kill you, then Ea will definitely kill you. There's like a 99.9% chance of you dying from this weapon, basically, because its special weapon is, I mean, not special weapon, but its special ability is a light that can burn away everything it touches, and yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. But again, this is the weapon that he uses to determine if his opponent is worthy of facing Ea. Remember, guys, once again, this is the last time I'm saying this, Ea is his strongest weapon. Ea is the strongest weapon that he possesses out of his entire arsenal. So, it's like, again, guys, this is the final time I'm saying this. The last time I'm saying this. Ea is the strongest weapon that Gilgamesh has in his entire arsenal, out of his entire treasury, out of all the Gate of Babylon. This is his strongest weapon. Because remember, Ea, when he uses Ea to launch Enuma Elish, remember, when he uses Ea and he uses Ea to do Enuma Elish, he will destroy... It's capable of destroying the multiverse. So yeah. He has mountain-piercing spears, which obviously can pierce mountains. He has the Potion of Youth. Like I said, he has Ro-Ias, the 7 rings that cover the fiery heavens. Basically, this is an unbreakable shield. He has a ship of light, a vehicle that's obviously able to travel faster than the speed of light, so basically allowing him to return instantly. He has the Great Cup of Uruk, which is basically the equivalent to the Holy Grail. He has Vajra, which basically this weapon can basically, if it stabs you, cuts you, or if it shoots electricity or a lightning bolt at you and it hits you, this will cut off your entire power. Basically, this will cut off your mana, your magic, basically. And of course, in this what if that I'm doing, it will cut off your chakra and your magic, because it does exist. Because remember, Gilgamesh will have both mana and chakra. So yeah. An unnamed anti-magic sickle, which can basically pierce and cut through magic protection armor. He has Ig Alima, greenfield cutting through the 1,000 mountains, which basically can cut through mountains, and it's a divine construct that he possesses. Remember, guys, he can use it to its fullest potential. So yeah, he has Sagana, a long, jagged blade comparable to the size of Ig Alima, and basically it summons a cone of fire around it, and when it's swung, a wide arc of that flame spreads across the entire field. So yeah. Arrow protection amulet, which basically protects him from any flying projectiles. Unnamed dimensional refraction artifact, which can basically block attacks that are coming from parallel universes. An unnamed dragon slayer sword, which obviously can slay a dragon. Unnamed freezing sword, which basically can freeze anything that the blade pierces or cuts. So yeah. Even if you dodge the blade, like, it will spread out. Like, I'm gonna give it a 5-meter radius. If you're not out of the 5-meter radius, then you're gonna be coated in ice. An unnamed invisibility ring, which basically makes him invisible. He has an unnamed invisible sword, so a sword that's invisible, and he can fire it like a projectile. Hades' cap of invisibility, which makes him invisible. However, it also makes him undetectable, so you can't sense his energy or anything like that. Unnamed lens, a golden ring with a single wrapped lens that allowed Gilgamesh to view true archer from 20 kilometers away. Unnamed levitation treasure, basically allowing Gilgamesh to levitate in midair. Unnamed lightning noble phantasm, which Gilgamesh can launch lightning without form as a projectile without the use of his Vajra noble phantasm. Unnamed magical staffs, various magical rods and staves that can use magecraft from the Age of the Gods. Those seen have generated pillars of flame, concentrated lightning storms, and light beams that home in on their targets. Unnamed mirror shield, which effortlessly repels powerful magecraft. Unnamed spellbook, an unnamed tome that allows Gilgamesh to utilize powerful primeval runes from the Age of the Gods. Unnamed spiral sword, possesses a spiral sword similar to Khalad Bolg. Unnamed triple-edged sword, a sword with 3 edges that can arc behind an opponent to attack from their back if left unguarded. Various unnamed homing weapons, obviously can home and follow its desired target until it hits. Various unnamed shields, which can survive barrages from the Gate of Babylon. Vimana, the throne of heaven, throne of the heaven soaring king, and that's the one that I was telling you guys about that can basically travel in the speed of thought. So yeah, and it also contains ancient machine guns, nuclear warheads, stealth functions, communication interception technology, laser cannons, biological weapons, and among other things. He also possesses Enkidu, chains of heaven. Now this is Gilgamesh's second most favorited treasure to use. This is his trusted. Now these chains, they have blades at the end of them, but they can also bind them. So basically, the more divine you are, the stronger the chains are. Basically, the stronger you are, the stronger the chains will be stronger than you. So that way they can restrain you, and you basically can't move. It'll zap you of all your strength, speed, stamina, energy, everything. So yeah, and of course they can be used as weapons. And of course, guys, here's Aya, and Aya, as we know, is called the Sword of Rupture, the sword that ripped apart the world. And Aya's ultimate attack is Enuma Elish, which can destroy, and again, he can control the amount of power. He can control how much power he puts into Enuma Elish. After Aya performs Enuma Elish, he can control it from island level, well, from a single person, all the way up to a planet level, all the way up to a multiverse level. So yeah. Alright. His class skills are independent action, which allows him to basically do whatever he wants. Magic resistance, pretty self-explanatory. Charisma, I already explained that multiple times to you guys. Again, you guys can pause this and read this if you guys want to. He's a collector, talent of collecting high-quality goods, sorts of supernatural luck that draws rare items into Gilgamesh's hands. And, again, he has collected all of the Earth's treasures, grasping the very essence of human ingenuity itself. He has divinity. So, yeah. He has the golden rule. A skill that measures one of the ability and fortune to obtain wealth, having been fated to live a life filled with riches, and having said to collect all kinds of treasury, many of which the original to numerous noble phantasms. And of course, he possesses a rank of 8 in this skill. And yeah, guys, so again, alright, that was it. So yeah. Hold on, guys. So yeah, guys, Gilgamesh goes straight home, and he basically just he goes home, and Kakashi says be at the Hokage's office tomorrow so we can get our first mission. And of course, Gilgamesh goes home. He goes to sleep. And this is when Gilgamesh heads to the Hokage's office. And the Hokage says, alright, we have a special C-rank mission. And Gilgamesh says, you old beaten dog, you're giving a king, a god, a C-rank mission. This isn't fitting for a king. And of course the Hokage says, Gilgamesh, you need to reel in that ego of yours. And he says, how dare you? You have no right to tell me what to do. And Kakashi says, Gilgamesh, shut up. And finally, Gilgamesh opens up one of the Gate of Babylon, and a sword is pointing directly at the back of Kakashi's head. And Gilgamesh says, if I were you, I would shut up. Unless you want to have a sword going through your skull. Then the sword goes back into the Gate of Babylon and back into the king's treasury. And the Gate of Babylon portal closes, and Tazuna comes in, and he says, he's drunk, and he says, these kids don't look like they could protect anything, let alone protect themselves. And he looks at Gilgamesh, he says, this one looks like he can barely protect a dog. And Gilgamesh says, how dare you refer me to that way? He says, you're nothing but a drunk, filthy, dirty mongrel that needs to be put out of its misery. And then Gilgamesh would say, let's hurry up and get started. And Gilgamesh then proceeds to go to the outer gate, and this is what Gilgamesh is wearing. Oh yeah, and Gilgamesh just shut Tazuna up because this is when he activated his charisma, and everybody kind of just knelt before him because he's a king. And then he left the room, and then of course he deactivated and said that was weird. Anyway, they're all outside at the gate. They're leaving the village, and yes, guys, this is exactly what Gilgamesh is wearing. What you see right here, this is exactly what Gilgamesh is wearing. Now, of course, people would say, now, hold on. That's not very ninja. Yeah, but guess what? Gilgamesh is a king, so it makes sense. So, they get into the land of waves, and then this is when the demon brothers attack. And of course, Gilgamesh being able to see through Genjutsu and being able to have see through anything, he has, and of course, he has, he was able to, he used Sha Nakba Imaru to see every single possibility, and of course he saw this happening, and this is when he just kind of just grabs the brothers by their necks and just, snaps their necks, because he already knows what's going on, because they were after old man Tazuna. Anyway, they get into the land of waves. Mist starts rolling in, and this is when Gilgamesh shoots up into the air. He sees Haku. He goes at blinding speeds where Haku is and breaks Haku's neck, so Haku is dead. Haku is not coming to help Zabuza. And Zabuza has already, attacked. And Gilgamesh says, you look like a filthy rabid dog. And Zabuza says, I'm gonna cut you to pieces. And, well, he says, get down. Otherwise, do you want to feel the wrath of my blade? And he says, and Gilgamesh says, that's a very unique sword you got. He says, mongrel. He says, rabid dog, you can hand me that weapon. That looks like it would belong very well into my collection. I'll put it to better use than you ever could. And, of course, Gilgamesh seizes the, it's called the Executioner Blade. And it's basically, and he says, oh, so this world has noble phantasms as well. He says, well, I wonder, could there also be other heroes, servants? Oh well, never mind. This is when he would basically come up right behind, and he pulls out Guy Bolg and stabs it into... No, I'm not going to say he pulls out Guy Bolg. Guy Bolg comes out, and he uses Guy Bolg to its full potential and shoots it, and basically hits Zabuza, piercing his heart, killing him instantly. Guy Bolg dematerializes and gets back into the king's treasury, back into the Gate of Babylon, and the Gate of Babylon portal closes, and he retrieves the Executioner Blade, putting the Executioner Blade into the Gate of Babylon. He says, later on I will further examine this to see what its true capabilities are. He puts it into the Gate of Babylon, adding the Executioner Blade to his treasury, adding it to the king's treasury vault, and the Gate of Babylon portal closes, and Gilgamesh says, let's continue on, mongrels. And yeah. So Gato says that Zabuza and Haku should have already been back by now. But so he's sending every single man he's got to go after Tazuna and the villagers. Meanwhile, coming back to Gilgamesh, and Kakashi says, Gilgamesh, there's no way you could have beaten him. And Gilgamesh says, who do you think you're talking to, mongrel? He was lucky that I used such a prestige weapon on him. He was lucky to die by such a great and powerful weapon, and to die by me. Not only that, I didn't give him permission to look upon me. He was nothing more than a filthy rabid dog. He had no business of looking up to the heavens. And this is when finally Kakashi says, you know what, I've had enough. You and me, right now, outside. You continuously continue to amuse me. Very well, I will humor you, mongrel. Maybe you shall become a jester for me. And this is when they start going head to head, and Kakashi uses his Sharingan. He says, "You're going down." And Gilgamesh says, "No, you're going down." And this is when he opens up the gate of Babylon, and he says, "Enkidu, chains of heaven." And this is when he restrains Kakashi, and Kakashi says, "What?" He says, "Oh well, I can just use a substitution jutsu." He's like, "Substitution jutsu!" And he's like, "Wait, how come I'm not substituting?" He's like, "Wait, what's going on?" He says, "These are the chains of heaven." He says, "Nobody can escape them, not even the gods themselves." You see, this is why I'm called the Jack of all trades. Mongrel, you have no right to challenge me. I am Gilgamesh, king of heroes, the first hero. I am a god. Yeah, he just says, I am a god. So yeah. And Kakashi says, alright, he says, I concede, and Gilgamesh starts laughing. He says, you mongrels never cease to learn your lesson. Very well then, I'll spare you just this once. This is when he basically, this is when Enkidu, Chains of Heaven, dematerialize and go back into the king's treasury room, vault. The gate of Babylon portals close, and Gilgamesh then proceeds to go back into the house and basically wait. And I'm going to leave it right here, guys. Now, I know I've mainly been doing most of the explanation about his abilities and everything, but I had to get this cranked out, guys, so this way, yeah. Next part, though, we will be going into the Chunin exams, and then that's when things are going to get a little bit more interesting. So, I'm sorry, guys, that it took me so long just to get this video cranked out. My phone's just been acting up, like, very weirdly, and so I'm trying to get this to last long. So, again, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of what if Naruto was the reincarnation of Gilgamesh. Now, I admit this is probably not one of my best detailed, well, it is a detailed video, but mainly about Gilgamesh, explaining his powers and abilities, which I had to do because if for people who have not seen the Fate Stay series and who does not know who Gilgamesh is, they need to know about his abilities, and that's consumed up most of my time. But next time, guys, I promise I will make this video, like, I will make, let's see, this is part 3, I will make part 4 an hour long, just for you guys, and this one is about near an hour. So, again, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe, and tell me what you guys would like to see in the next part. Comment down below. Turn that bell notification on so that way you guys can stay posted on all of my awesome content, on all my awesome videos. And don't forget to share this with your friends on your social media platforms. And did I say leave a comment down below and tell me what you guys want to see in the next part? Well, if I didn't, well, there you go. So see you later, guys. Peace out.